We've come together today to share the joining of two loved ones in the bond of marriage. Finding the one that you'll do life with, your ride or die, the person that understands you when nobody else does, is something special and something to be celebrated. So I'm excited to have you here to join us to wed these two. To the parents, a marriage is not only the joining of two individuals, it's also the joining of two families. The care and support, the nurturing given to Brooke and John from the families over this year is as important now as it has ever been. And in fact, more so now, because each family will include another person. Mike and Kathy, you now have a son. Michelle and Joe, well, you now have a fourth daughter. Do you promise to encourage them, love and support them as your own?
I do.
All right.
Maybe.
As some of you know, my Uncle Mike married my wife and I about 10 years in Lake Powell. So when Brooke and John asked me to marry him, it was an honor. While I haven't spent a ton of time with John and probably don't remember some of the wilder desert nights, he's a solid dude. Brooke's crazy about him, and I trust her judgment. So, shall we marry these two? We're gathered here today to unite Brooke and John in the bonds of holy matrimony. If anyone can show reason lawfully of why they should not be joined together, please keep it to yourself. Do you, John, take Brooke to be your lawfully wedded wife from this day forward, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and health, to love and cherish, till death do you part?
I do.
Brooke, do you take John to be your lawfully wedded husband from this day forward, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and health, to love and cherish, till death do you part?
I do. As we stand here today, I look back on the past 6 years, and I can't help but think how grateful I am to get to love you and share this amazing life with you. You came into my life when I least expected it, and I wasn't looking for a relationship or anything serious. At the time, I didn't realize what you were going to mean to me, and you have meant so much more than I could have ever imagined. You are my best friend, my motivator, and my safe haven. You are the hardest worker I know, and the most genuine person to anyone you meet. When we first started dating, we came up with a 5-year plan, and we talked about it often. We talked about one day having our own trailer so we could mainly go to Glamis, and how nice it would be to have our own toilet and shower. We talked about our future together and building a home of our own where we could live, and talked about how our careers would take off and where we would like to see. It all seemed so out of reach back then, and yet everything we have talked about has come true for us. Of course, we've had our fair share of highs and lows, and I'm sure there will be many more, but that's okay as long as I have you to go through it with. I have never been more sure of anything in my entire life than marrying you today, even if that means having a pit bike track in our front yard some days, and Saturdays are always for golf. I am so excited to be your wife. I love you.
I can't believe we're finally here today. This moment is something that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. I remember the first time I saw your smile like it was yesterday, and how contagious it was. I remember how effortless it was to fall in love with you. I love that even when I didn't know you well, how highly you were talked about from everyone I met through you. There's never been a day that I haven't felt absolutely blessed to call you mine. You spoil me, push me, and frustrate me. But most important, I can't imagine doing life without you by my side. I look forward to the challenges ahead of us, and proud of what we have accomplished together so far. From broken backs, an unpermitted tiny house resurrection, endless dune trips, ridiculous work hours, camping for a week straight in a pop-up with no toilet, a big-ass fluffy dog, putting up with my golf outings, and finally we are here today. It's bittersweet. Thank you for being you. Let's enter this new chapter in our lives stronger than ever.
By the authority invested in me in the state of California, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Right, so I met John through my best friend, who's now his wife. And Brooke brought up to me like, hey, I got this new guy. I think I like him. And I was like, okay. And she was a little apprehensive of the commitment thing, but Johnny Boy broke her down and she gave him a chance. My dad. John's one of my best friends, but Brooke is the sister I never had. She is the most pure-hearted person I've ever met, and she will literally give the shirt off her back to anyone who needs it. It's crazy to me that we used to be two kids running around Ramona in the States, and now I'm speaking at your wedding. A little weird. But I love you guys. If everyone could join me in a cheers to the new Larsons.
Brooke, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. You've had my back. You've been my biggest supporter. You've included me into this crazy, amazing, fun, crazy group we have. Table 7. When I first met John, it was New Year's Eve, and he had driven from Valley Center to Ramona to pick my sister up for a party. And anyone that's willing to do that drive twice in 24 hours is definitely a keeper. I hate that drive. John, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for everything you've done for my sister. You've supported her, cheered her on, and always make sure that she's not too full of herself. And the last 6 years, I've watched you grow into the best partner and best friend Brooke could have ever asked for. I've always hated when people mention the term soulmates because I never quite understood until I heard this quote. Soulmates exist, they aren't found, they're made. Two people meet, they get a good feeling, and then they get to work and build an amazing relationship. That's what you two have done, and I've never been more proud. Yeah, I stole that off of TikTok, okay? Oh, what the hell, dude? So please raise your glass to the new the new Larsons.
John has been the biggest role model for us growing up. I don't think he truly knows the impact he had on each of us, especially me. Because of him, I have always known that I wanted my first baby to be a boy so that he can hopefully have the same impact on his siblings as John had on me. I named my son Coulter Spark after my brother John Spark. So he will always have a piece of his uncle with him, and I'll always have a piece of John with me.
I remember the first night John brought her over when I was 10, and the first thing I did was turn to Blake and say, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty." Since then, I've gotten to grow up with her around as another sister to look up to. She has never failed to be there for me, and I'm so grateful to get to officially add her to the family, even if she always has been in my heart. We love you, Brooke, and I'm so excited to call you my sister.
John, thank you for giving us the best sister-in-law we could ask for, and Brooke, thank you for being the most genuine and caring person my brother could have found. To the new Larsons, I hope this new chapter is all you want it to be and more. We love you.
You know, my biggest thing is just be true to each other. Always. There's no hiccup there. Don't listen to anybody else. Listen to you guys. You got a whole bunch of people, even including me, most likely your mom. Just stick to your guns, stick to your path. You guys already got a path, as like the girls were saying. Just remember, marriage is an adventure. Don't waste it. Just don't waste it. I was lucky to marry somebody that we just clicked. I mean, she's just been one of those girls that just go, and here we are 37 years later. Wasn't easy, but you gotta fight through it. Gotta fight through it. Yes, dear.
Wow, we kind of knew we'd be here the first time John brought Brooke home to the house. It was pretty quick and pretty amazing, the effect that she had on my son, right? The love between the two of them was pretty incredible. One of the first conversations I had with Mike, these two were hitting it off, and we live 40 miles of windy mountain road with no lights between them, and I had encouraged Brooke to stay the night, right? That's not crossing the line, and he had done the same. Mike had done the same thing to John. Said, hey, you guys are. It was pretty obvious from the beginning that these two guys were a pair, including the day when he gave Brooke the shirt that said Larson on the back, and she said, Larson? I'm not Larson. He says, well, you'll grow into it. Anything is possible. You guys keep loving each other and supporting each other and get it done. Thank you.
Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop Never stop Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming. Never stop Never stop dreaming. Never stop dreaming.